right, 3, 2, 1. Okay, welcome back to another episode of Making Light of It. It is episode number 29.
29.
29. That's the last in the Benties, so we'll see how things go next week. Don't tell me. I don't want any spoilers when we get to it. I want to be completely surprised about what the Espanol does to me. So I have, just for you at home that are so concerned about my social media feeds, I have since moved on from the everything is Spanish, and now I'm on to some more extreme stuff as I do some study for preaching at church. Just to put a little background information into, I do most of my sermon writing on Thursdays.
Yeah.
We do 100% of our recordings on Thursdays.
Yeah.
So Thursdays are heavy,
Yeah.
heavy Bible days for me, being able to get into it and lots of fun. I rarely get to do anything different on Thursdays because it's all locked in. I work out, get right to the office and start writing. Like, I study throughout the week, I read throughout the week. Thursday is when it actually goes from like chaos to order.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'm constantly tweaking
Changing everything.
But we have a lot of great people that help out in the office that take my notes and then put them on the screen because we're not a physical Bible church.
That's funny.
I almost said we're not a Bible church.
Yeah, that's not good.
We're
We
very
are
much a
a
Bible
Bible
church.
church.
Very much a church.
Yes.
Cumberland County Community Church, very much founded on scriptures, and that is our number one, but we do not carry physical Bibles in the building.
Funny you say that. And I remember, like, back in the day, we did have like Bibles in the back of each chair. So this past Sunday, I'm in church and I have my physical Bible with me. I remember to have my
Nice.
smaller version, right? Not my bulky,
Okay.
which I'm working on that.
The travel Bible.
The travel Bible, right? The big one that you got to carry around like a book bag. And another congregant next to me, one of our Sunday school teachers, she looks at me and says, "You have your Bible with you," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's right. I'm with you."
Right.
You don't see that as often anymore. In that moment, I'm like, "Yeah, you know what? That is a pretty big deal."
Yeah, it is. So typically, when we do sermons here at the church, we're more topical than exegetical. Meaning we're going to bounce around between a whole bunch of scriptures.
Yeah.
Every so often, Pastor Sal, and of course this time around, I'm doing a series in Galatians. We'll lock in on one book of the Bible and go through that, so you would be able to have your Bible sitting in front of you. But especially the way I go about it, topically, I'll throw 5 or 6 verses at you in a matter of 30 or 45 seconds, just going through it, literally, bing, 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 bing. So for you to be able to like bounce around in the Bible,
tough.
It wouldn't.
It's not easy.
You'd have to be
even in the Bible
best
app,
sword drill
it's
guy
tough,
in the world
for
to knock around. Even in the app. The app I feel is slower sometimes.
Slow.
We were at a situation today where we're doing devotions, and the guy said, "Pull out your Bibles," and everyone grabbed their phones. Everybody grabbed their phones. No one's carrying around their Bibles anymore.
Oh, this is totally like, if I was in youth group right now, this is a youth group moment. I'd be disappointed in myself not having my paper Bible on me, you know?
Now, I do love having a paper Bible when I study. I have this sitting down here. I also have a Bible study program. It's similar to Logos that a lot of people are familiar with, that has the scriptures, like 5 or 6 translations, and I got all my commentaries on there. Everything's in one pretty little package up there. It's not like the old days where you had to spread out your whole desk and lay it all out.
Yeah, let's spread out your computer screens.
And then just one click away, I have Google and gotquestions.org, which is one of my favorite sites.
Yeah, Got Questions is great.
I'm literally like, I have everything just there in one hub. I am guilty. I am probably that pastor where if you took away the interweb from me and said, put a sermon together,
It'd be tough. Then you gotta find, where's my concordance at? Where's this at?
It would be a lot. It would be rough.
How many more books would you be reading?
It would take me forever, like so long, just to sort through all the books and everything. Not that it already takes a while anyways.
Oh, yeah.
But I say all that because Thursdays are pretty heavy days for us, and I rarely get to do anything different on Thursdays. I block it off. It's just what I do. I try not to have any meetings with people. It's me, Jesus, and my computer screen so I can write down my sermons.
Yeah.
This morning, we got to do something a little special. The local Christian school, Cumberland Christian, was hosting a pastor's breakfast.
Yeah.
I brought you along with me. And basically what they do is they kind of give you a little, hey, this is what the school's all about. And, hey, here's an opportunity for you to go visit your students that go to your church.
Yeah.
And this is a little behind the scenes I want to give on this one. Mayor Rob, you're very familiar with the school, right?
I used to go there.
There you go.
Yeah,
What year did you graduate, Mayor Rob?
2017.
Wow.
I got choked up there. 2017, graduated Cumberland Christian. His jersey's up in the rafters there. They're big fans. Did you go there the whole time, K through? When did you start going to school there?
Kindergarten, yeah.
You did?
Wow.
You're a K through
Yeah.
12 kid all the way through?
Wow, you're a lifer.
Beautiful picture. So you just missed out on having me because I used to be a phys ed teacher there.
Wow, you
in
really
the
missed
early
out,
years.
bud.
Listen, people loved me. People loved me.
Yeah.
I was a great phys ed teacher.
That's
Not-
so the reference that the one teacher made to basketball was that you and gym teacher
Yeah,
phase?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's great.
So here's the concept. So we go in there and we get to have the breakfast, and they say, okay, go visit your students and bring your bags and stuff like that. Now we're aware of a couple kids that we know of that are there, but we're pretty far removed when it comes to church. We're pretty far removed. We're a couple layers removed. Me more so than you, a couple layers removed from our Sunday school program. Now, it wasn't too far back. I used to be in charge of the Sunday school program, and so I was constantly there, seeing the kids, seeing their faces. Now I have other responsibilities during the morning, so I really don't get to see the kids in their Sunday school setting so much as I see them come walking in the mornings. And there's a lot of familiarity. I try to build it up, but so they give us this list of students, and they say go to their classrooms and go visit them. So we're like, okay, great. We look down the list and we recognize a few of the names. Did not recognize a couple of the names.
Yeah.
And so we're like, oh no. So just for a little perspective, it's like I'm great with faces, especially when it comes to the kids. I can recognize their face. I couldn't put their names.
Yeah,
half
but
these
not
kids.
at all. And that's the one thing when we got to the classroom, I was like, do you recognize that face? Like any of these other faces? Does that match?
We
No?
knew. Here's the situation, Mayor Rob. We knew we're going into a fourth grade class, and we knew exactly one kid who's going to be there. I knew who he was, what he looked like. He was ready. In fact, he was one of the kids that instrumental in getting me there. He made sure to tell his dad, so his dad would let me know that I would be there. And he was excited to see us.
Yeah.
It was a mini celebrity moment. That's another thing we'll talk about.
Yeah.
So actually, that let me harp on that a little bit. So they had mentioned, like, when you come in there, we are like celebrities to these Christian school kids. It's kind of a cool moment. It's a welcome thing. They recognize us. They can't believe they're seeing us outside of church. It's a big thing.
If you're a teacher of any sort, you know that feeling.
Yeah. If you're a teacher, you know what it is to your student outside of the normal bounds. So we get in there, and this is what I'm banking on. I'm banking on a kid reacting to me like I'm a celebrity so that I can tell if they go to my church or not.
Yeah.
This is what I'm keying in on. It's not an ego thing. It's a, do you know who I am?
Right. Like, come on, you know this is special.
Do you know who I am? Like, it sounds terrible, but I'm banking on this 9-year-old kid going, Pastor Sam, for me to be like, it's you.
Now, the question is, what was the response that you got?
Okay, so when we walked into the class, we're going, and there's 2 kids on our list. One we knew, one we had questioned.
Yeah.
The one we knew was ready. He was introducing us to friends. He
yeah.
was super excited. And even before we pulled out the bag of candy, he was pumped to see us.
And you got the saying, that's my pastor.
Yeah, and he did. Yeah, he did say, that's my pastor. Come here, come. This is my pastor. It was really, really cool.
Yeah.
But there was another kid on the list. Yeah. And so the whole time we're dealing with this boy, I'm looking around. All right, is there another kid that's looking at me like I'm their pastor? Just kind of scanning the room. Finally, get over to the teacher. These poor teachers, their days
So interrupted.
we
by
are
this.
so interrupted.
Especially you, the way you open the door and go in.
Oh, no, not
First
this guy.
words from like 2 classes like, "Wow, you're tall." And I'm like, I'm not even gonna walk in now. I'm not gonna impress you.
It's something about being 6'4", 270 plus, walking into a room. You tend to be noticed. So we're looking around, finally see the teacher. I walk over to the teacher and say, hey, this student right here, I don't know if they go to our church or not. Who is it? So she walks up to like the one kid who's paying no attention to anything, and I'm like, all right, I'm starting to get a vibe. This is they mistakes happen on the list, and it was kind of like, whew. But because of this, and then when we get to the next classroom, there's a couple kids that do go to our church that weren't on our list. Thank goodness we remembered to bump into them. So now we're in panic mode. Who is supposed to be on our list that isn't? So now we're peeking into every classroom, just hoping that catching eyes with someone that's my pastor. This moment, it was such a rough moment going through, and this terrified feeling like you're gonna miss someone.
Yeah.
But we try to make it when we go into the classroom, trying to make the kids feel like they're
Yeah.
the most important kid in that room.
Definitely.
Which to us they were. We knew who they were, and they might have been in one particular girl may never talk to us again.
Probably not.
Right now, she's probably explaining to her parents she'll never believe what they did.
No idea
Never
what
seen
I
a kid
went
turn
through.
a shade of red like she did.
Oh, no.
She'll never forget Pastor's Day, and she'll probably
Man.
conveniently be sick. during the-
100%. Oh, that's
Next
coming up.
Masters Day.
Do I have to
But
go?
she did get some Skittles, so
Sure
I mean,
thing.
hey,
yeah, I
that's
think that's a
good.
consolation.
That's
She'll
got to
be
pay
back.
off.
Speaking, I don't know why I just thought of this. I heard that today was National Hug a Drummer Day.
Oh, is that?
We have a
thing?
drummer in here, so we have to
It's
make sure we
today.
get.
I'm googling that before I, wrap
heard.
my arms
Now, I
around
did not
this guy.
I did not
Dude.
look into it, but I heard.
National Drummer
Like a
Day.
National Everything Day, but everything.
Every day's got a
I'm
thing.
gonna let Sam look this one up.
I'm googling it right now.
If it's
humble
true, let me
about
tell you something. The mics are coming off.
There's
Okay,
hugs.
so here we go. Based on AI, it's actually November 15th.
Oh,
November
The person I
15th.
heard from was wrong.
Hold
Yeah.
on. Is there National Hug a Drummer Day? Okay, get ready to show your appreciation for drummers on National Hug a Drummer Day on October 10th.
Yes,
Ladies and gentlemen,
let's go.
we are.
I might have to go in. I'm gonna have to get in the camera for this one.
So here's a little behind the scenes. Now you know when we're recording this episode. So if you're hearing this, you're a week and a half late.
bleep it out. October.
Great timing, man, Rob. Great timing. Well done with that. Okay, so it is October 10th.
Wow.
Is National Hug a Drummer. So it's not. So I typed in National Drummer Day. That's coming up in a month or so.
where the confusion was.
National Hug a
Whoever
Drummer
told you,
Day.
we owe them an
Yeah, I
apology.
don't-
They were right.
Sorry.
Sorry, person.
I'm apologizing for
People will be
that.
watching this.
This is rough. This is really rough.
Yikes.
Wow. Do we really need that? So Google's telling me this annual event was created in 1984 by an enthusiastic group of drummers and percussionists who wanted to sell. Okay, so
Oh no.
yo,
Uh-oh.
this is how needy drummers are.
Oh gosh, I am
was-
needy. I'm not gonna lie.
Listen, drummers, all you're doing is hitting things for attention. I know a couple of you. This is the only reason
This is real.
they created it themselves. This is like a group of drummers and percussionists wanted to celebrate the art of drumming, so they created in 1984 their own Hug a Drummer Day.
That's right.
No,
That's
it's the
right.
same thing. Like you don't come up
Because-
with your own nickname.
Go to a rock concert or any kind of concert without a drummer, man. Come on.
I get it.
Come on.
Listen, I get it. Drummers are important, but they so narcissistic that they need to create their own Hug a Drummer Day.
They needed
And let's-
their cause to be out there.
Hold on, let's back up.
Are you gonna hug me?
No. You're not my drummer.
Hug me,
Oh, a day
we
for
cancel
hugs
this
we
day?
made. Ba-rum-bum-bum-bum.
We cancel this day.
We need more attention for us. Ba-rum-bum-bum-bum.
I don't want this holiday. It's
Rum-bum-bum-bum.
not my fault. I drum good.
They created their own day. Who does that? Like,
drummers.
Yeah, well, okay, so let's go.
and now-
Who created Grandparents' Day? Was it grandparents?
I'm
or
sure it wasn't.
Was it parents?
I'm sure it was someone else who said grandparents need to be recognized. I'm going to put you're Googling right now who created Grandparents Day while we dive into this. And let's be fair. If I'm going to show my appreciation to a drummer, is it going to be by hug or a high five? Aren't drummers like high five?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that sound, it's a
Yeah.
percussion style congratulations.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly it. So I think you're seeing it right now. Who created Grandparents? It's
So
gonna-
that was by someone who was concerned that the elderly were being ignored.
there you go.
Drummers get concerned that they're being ignored.
No,
You know, they're in the back.
I'm telling
Everybody's
you.
looking at the people who are strumming.
Telling you right now, no drummers being. You're up on Sunday. At the
am.
time, mess up. Guaranteed you won't be ignored. Drum off of beat.
Challenge
See if you get any hugs.
I gotta fight my pride.
You
on
might
that
get
one.
some hand hugs around your neck if you mess that up.
So that song, you're really feeling it today.
Mayor Rob, I'm digging this drummer song.
Something or what? Yeah.
I am so needy for
It's me to the T.
Yeah, we might have to make a song out of that.
Put that out there.
No.
Anybody watching? I am an 80 person.
Okay, so October. Listen, I know you missed it by a few days, and if you forgot to give Justin a card, recognizing him on
So I will
National.
take
Actually, it's
tardy
National
cards.
Hug a Drummer Day. National Drummer Day is coming up on.
You can
November
send virtual
15th.
hugs.
Get-
My
get
mom
ready.
has sent me virtual hugs on
Matter of
Facebook
fact,
and on text before. So
there are definitely-
it's possible. Send them.
A few people in church I can think of that will give you a hug.
Oh, I know 100%.
Just know
what I'm talking about.
Shout out to you, Karen.
So
We
when
love
this is coming out in a couple weeks, what Sundays will it be? It'll be Sunday the 27th. By the time you hear this, because this episode's playing on the 21st.
Yeah.
So on the 27th, you get bombarded with.
I'm down. I'm ready for a hug.
Let's go. Let's go.
Just give me a warning before you hug me, because I'm gonna think something crazy is going on. So what is happening right now? Oh, that's right. I was
I'm sorry I missed National Hug a Drummer Day. I would like to give you your official hug now.
it's okay. Catch me next year.
Let's put this
With
down.
love.
Oh my goodness.
How did we get here?
Yeah, I don't know.
Robert, thank you.
we're
Thank
talking
you for
about
trying to support the cause of.
we're
drummers.
talking about awkward things as pastors. So BT Dubs, it's Pastor Appreciation
Pastor
Month, and I'm pretty sure
Appreciation.
Pastor did not put that out there. Just saying.
Should we-
Google this out there. You're going to put, did pastors create Pastor Appreciation Month?
Pastor Appreciation Month.
That's like going through, it's also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. You can say, did breast cancer create breast cancer? Yes, it did.
Yeah, exactly.
That did.
See?
But I don't think pastors went out there and did it. No pastor that I would
Focus
like
on
to
the
follow.
Family did it in 1994.
There you go. All right. Thank you.
But I
Focus on the Family.
guarantee you, somebody that was a part of this was a pastor.
For 10 years, I was a drummer and no one hugged me. Now I'm a pastor and I still don't get any hugs.
We're always forgotten.
You know, it'd be a great month for hugs, October. Now I'm wondering what other national
Yeah, is
hug
everybody trying to scare you away? It's like, no, I'm drawing you in.
Is there any other national hug of whatever day? This could be a really dark.
And you're
call.
not much of a hugger.
I
so
am
what if
not
there was
much
a
of a
National
hugger.
Hug a Pastor Day. Oh, dude,
Nope,
I
I'd be
would
sick.
probably try to put money in some type of road sign. Find Sam. Hug him. Find him.
I am
on
not.
Pastor Day. Matter of fact, we've extended it to a month. Just for you, one time only. This is a once in a lifetime offer.
How is Pastor Sam always
Hug
sick?
this 7-foot giant.
So, little side note too. I'm trying to find a way to escape the pulpit to be able to get to the back of the sanctuary to see more people. I know that sounded weird. That sounded
It
weird.
sounds
Right?
oxymoronish, but
Let
no,
me
you're right.
let me
I get
explain
you.
it. So when I get done preaching, a lot of times what happens is people make a beeline for me at the stage to talk to me. I'll be honest, very rarely about the sermon.
I've been waiting all morning to ask you this.
They're just sitting there, they're pining for these questions. So, and a lot of times there are people who want to meet. Something about the sermon stirred them, and I've had some really serious conversations in some very public settings based on some sermons because things move people. People start to think about things. So I'm trying to put myself in a position to get to a more public space so I can see, so everyone get an opportunity to say hello, connect, or set up a meeting later on where if I get stuck at the front, people just think they missed me or I got pulled away to something else. I want to make sure they know.
There's a lot of people that want to get in touch with the pastor.
Yeah,
On the,
I want to make sure they know I'm available. Now, good old Baptist style, growing up, so the pastor would close out his sermon and then he would start praying. And so you bow your head, close your eyes, and he's praying. He's got the microphone, he's praying. And then when he says amen, you open your eyes and he's not there anymore. He vanished. You're like, all right, is this a rapture moment or what happened? Then he talks from behind you and he says, well, what's it say? Old school, may the Lord bless you and keep you, and may the Lord make his face to shine upon you, be gracious to you, and give you peace. Amen. Whatever. He'll do the saying. I'm getting it wrong. I got to figure it out. So, and then he'll be at the back and everyone shakes hands on the way out the door. I really like that style. I like that thing. So if I'm going to start just fading out in my
Put
prayer,
that out there. I really like that.
I'm going to pray. Dear Lord, I pray. You hear me trip down the stairs as I forget to open my eyes. as I'm-
crap, that's
as I'm
right. I
praying
gotta
on the
open
way
my
out.
eyes.
What you got to do is you got to get that trap door.
You gotta get that hideaway door,
Like
like in that Philly church.
Oh yeah. Just dip
Forget what the
around.
name was for it, but yeah, you just go right underground.
All that being said, if you create a Hug a Pastor Sunday, I'm dipping out.
Yeah,
I'm
he's out.
praying
He's
out.
not making it to the welcome counter.
You ain't trapping me. 'Cause there's only so many ways on stage. I can just see people like zombie walking all the way up to the stage for
Let
the
me hug you.
I'm like, no.
Yeah, Justin prayed for you.
Not on the 10th of October.
Yeah,
Before
Be
Too busy handing out hugs.
too much hugs going on. All right, that's plenty.
Wow. Did Elijah get hugs? Is that in here? Is that where we're going?
There is zero segue.
Elijah needed a hug.
Zero, yeah.
Elijah did need a hug. Actually, Elijah probably got a lot of hugs. 'Cause
Yeah.
As we last left off, Elijah was praying over the dead body of the widow's son. He has come back to life. Elijah carried him downstairs, bringing him to mom. And she said, "Surely you are." I think we left off at the end of, what was it, the end of 18 or end of 17?
End of 17, chapter 17, verse 24. Now I know that you are a man of God and that the word of the Lord is in your mouth.
Yeah, so that's the last proclamation we made on that. That's where we left Elijah off. And as I'm putting my notes together, I'm thinking to myself, oh, finally, we're going to get to my favorite part of Elijah. One of my favorite parts, every part.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Let's just call it what it is. I know, and you're going to hear it an awful lot as we get into it. So, but no, there's a big encounter and meeting that takes place that very rarely do we discuss, but there's so much into it that you reminded me of it today as we were setting up, and I can't wait to dive into this. But one of the things you're going to see is a reflection of what we've already discussed.
Yeah.
So we are, if you have your paper Bibles and you're following along at home, we are in 1 Kings chapter 18. We're just flying through this. And again, so I'll just break into it. The first three lines, after many days. So we're many days. This timeline is a fluid timeline. Yeah. Does many days mean weeks? Does many days mean months? Anyways, many days after the do we call it the resurrection? Yeah, because the boy was resurrected.
The boy was brought back. Yeah,
the first official recording of a dead person being brought back to life here in 1 Kings 17. God using the hands of Elijah, the prayers of Elijah in this moment. Now we are into something new. Let's go with just the first verse. That's all I want to say is the first verse.
Chapter 18, verse 1. After many days, the word of the Lord came to Elijah in the 3rd year, saying, "Go, show yourself to Ahab, and I will send rain upon the earth."
All right, so now we know when it makes reference to the time frame, he's talking about the time frame after the first declaration, there shall not be any rain until. Now an end is coming. And this is a phrase, if you're underlining, highlighting it, the word of the Lord came to Elijah. So he said, "Go show yourself to Ahab." Here we go. What did Elijah do after hearing this word from the Lord? Verse 2.
Verse 2. So Elijah went to show himself to Ahab.
There we go. So God said, "Go, show yourself to Ahab." And what did Elijah do?
Elijah
went and showed himself to Ahab. It is that simple, folks. It is really that easy. Following the Lord is just that direct in these moments.
Just do it.
So we're taking note of it. The word of the Lord came to Elijah. Elijah followed suit. Again, I'm setting this up for something a couple of weeks from now.
Yep.
Okay, continue on with that.
Now the famine was severe in Samaria, and Ahab called Obadiah, who was over the household. Now Obadiah feared the Lord greatly, and when Jezebel cut off the prophets of the Lord, Obadiah took 100 prophets and hid them by 50s in a cave, and fed them with bread and water.
Okay, let's talk about Obadiah. Not Ahab. Obadiah for a little bit. So Elijah's the prophet, the one that God is speaking directly to. Yeah. Obadiah is I don't know what we'd claim his title to be. He would be a disciple, I guess we'd call that. I mean, it says a prophet. He's not like Elijah prophet. He's just different level prophet, so to speak. Mm-hmm. I don't know, maybe associate pastor. Maybe we call him the associate pastor. That's probably more of a level. Like he might be called a prophet, but he's not like Elijah level prophet. Right. Now, Obadiah feared the Lord greatly. I love this thing. Yep. And so when Jezebel cut off the prophets of the Lord, so basically saying every one of you guys that are following him, like you're out. Like you're either gone, dead, in prison. This is where Obadiah stepped up and did his, what'd you call it earlier? We're going over the show notes.
It was his Harriet Tubman moment.
Harriet Tubman moment. It was the, who's that lady that hid the Jews during the Nazi wars?
Is it Anne Frank?
There you go, Anne Frank. Yeah. So it's an Anne Frank moment too. This whole idea of hiding those that need hiding and rescuing. What I like is the phrasing. took 100 prophets and hid them by 50s.
By
Why didn't they just
50s?
say, like, put them in two
They
caves?
put them in 2 caves, yeah, right. But they hid them in 50s in a cave.
Put them in the caves, and now how much bread and water?
Yeah, especially you're still in a drought.
Yeah.
Like,
So-
and it's been that we got insight that it's 3 years.
It's been 3 years.
3
Now
years,
we
third
now
year.
know our time frame.
Yeah,
We don't
that's
know.
a long time.
It's a very
Like you go a summer without rain.
Listen, we're in the
Freaking
middle of
out.
a drought right now.
Yeah, that's
Ironically, other parts of the country are going through some pretty horrific things when it comes to water.
Mm-hmm.
We're in a drought, literal drought. Like we've had, I don't know, a month since we've had any significant rain. It's crazy. So, yeah, like the amount of work he had to put in to feed 100 people,
Yeah,
100 people, and do it on the down low.
yeah.
So it's not like he could just load up his camel or donkey or whatever it
Yeah.
is and just
Stay
walk
on
down the
his merry
street.
way. Yeah.
One, he has to scrounge it all together.
Mm-hmm.
Two, he has to like get it there in secret because he's literally trying to protect their lives.
Yeah.
I don't know where they're at, how far out they are, but that's a process. I think there's a miracle of God involved in this process too.
100%.
I'm not going to go out and proclaim that there was multiplication in the process because I do feel like that would have been told us, but sometimes the greatest miracles of God are in the simple things in life,
Yep.
like our breath. How
That's a
often we take for
miracle in itself.
granted our breath.
Yeah.
So, like, I
Waking
think
up.
even in this moment, we can look at it and be like, yeah, I think God had his hand in helping Obadiah
Yeah.
protect these men and women, which is going to come down the road. We're going to see the reason down the road and how God's going to continue to use Obadiah in this minute. So Obadiah is a follower of the Lord in a land that is not following after God. So remember,
Yeah.
Ahab's not an easy dude to deal with.
Nope. And
There's-
he's over his household.
yeah. So it's unique that Obadiah still had standing there.
Yeah.
So there's
Even
a
though
lot
he
of
was
questions.
opposite of the king. Yeah.
Yeah. Now he wasn't the one that
Now-
called out.
Yeah, exactly. And so,
So-
I'm sure that played. There was some sort of like submission without submission. Like there's, maybe
Yeah.
I'll follow you, but I'm not.
Yeah. Like
you know,
I'm here in the
under you
land.
like
I'll
that.
do my job.
I
I'll do what I
still
have to
obey my
do.
Lord,
But
my
when it
God.
comes down to the bottom line, I'm going to take care of God's people.
Yeah.
So you
it,
definitely
not of it.
you definitely see the character. Yeah, I think that's a great point. In
Yeah.
it, not of it. We have to respect the authority that's in place. It's placed over us. God knows who's in charge. We're going to be going into a very tight, a very cantankerous. Is that the right word?
Contentious.
Contentious.
Cantankerous.
What is?
the, check
It's
that
a
out.
word. It's cantankerous. Look it up for it.
That's a new one. Put that one on.
I
the
think it's a
spelling
word.
bee.
I think it's a word.
Cantankerous.
Yeah, he's going to figure it out right now.
If you can spell it.
So a very contentious voting season. And listen, when it comes to the church and believers, we tend to be very heavy on one over the other.
Mhm.
And the tendency would be, well, if the other wins, I'm out.
Right.
Like not my president. That's what we
Right.
heard,
Yeah.
years ago.
Many years. Yeah.
Not my president. Cantankerous, is that a word?
Cantankerous is a word.
I told
Um,
you. Meaning?
The word is where'd it go?
It's cantankerous.
It's cantankerous, right? That's,
Well,
we're
this is
still
the
talking about that.
I
definition.
got you.
Gotcha.
Bad-tempered, argumentative, and uncooperative.
It was
Okay,
right.
so yeah,
it was
yeah,
right.
yeah, you're
I
right
was
there, man.
right.
You're on
Put
it.
that. Yes.
Yeah, man, that's
Mr. Phonics, Mr. Spelling Bee champion.
Listen, I could have probably spelled it. I just didn't define
Okay,
it right.
go. He's going to spell it. You got it still up there? Spell it. Cantankerous.
right?
Yep.
Cantankerous. There's two ways I want to spell it. So, Contankerous. Cantankerous.
Is it incorrect?
Right, that's how I figured.
How is it?
It is C-A-N
C-A-N.
T-A-N
T-A-N.
K-E-R-O-U-S.
All right. Is it?
Cantankerous.
Oh, you said O.
I said
E.
cantankerous instead
Yeah.
of cantankerous.
So I spelled it C-O-N. I spelled it the exact same way you did.
I felt like, I don't know why, something told me it might have been a Q or something in there.
Cantankerous.
Yeah, like it's spelled this way, but you say it this way.
Let's not gloss over the fact that I used a big word
You did
and
use a big word.
appropriately.
That's true.
This
That's
is
great.
going to be a cantankerous voting season coming up on us.
Yes,
So
it is.
Obadiah is a man of God, taking care of God's people. I believe it's a minor miracle that I think we gloss over too much
Yeah.
because to feed 100 guys in caves
Yeah.
to take care of them, keep it hidden.
And we kind of as we go on, we'll see a little bit of contrast between Obadiah and what he's doing to Ahab and where his mind is, and where we'll see in a second.
Let's go.
Let's go. Verse 5. And Ahab said to Obadiah, "Go through the land to all the springs of water and to the valleys. Perhaps we may find grass and save the horses and mules alive, and not lose some of the animals." So they divided the land between them to pass through it. And Ahab went in one direction by himself, and Obadiah went in another direction by himself.
So, one, did they really go by themselves?
That's there's got to be a lot of trust there.
Yeah. So the king went by himself.
Mhm.
That's
No army around him, nobody like it. And so desperation. 3
desperation,
years
lack of trust.
no rain,
Right.
desperation, lack of trust as well. Like, okay, hey, this is my right hand
This
guy.
is what people are telling me.
I can, yeah.
But-
Let's go and check it out. And they're so desperate that they're looking for pasture land.
Yeah.
Like instead of like repenting or like going, Obadiah going, Ahab going to his God. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Let's go look for pasture land. Let's see how we can sustain until it comes back.
Right, till what?
Like,
Like,
whenever.
That is
For now.
interesting. Like we're trying to find water, trying to find grass, trying to do whatever we can.
Yet Obadiah is feeding, took him in the cave and feed him with bread and water.
He's like, I'll go this way.
See where the
He's
hand- see where the hand of
you
God
go that
is."
way. I'll go this way.
Yeah. And then
Uh,
Obadiah has a great.
So I wonder if they actually went by themselves. I have to look at my notes to see what the implication. But the implication is they went by themselves. But I think it might be like they went with their people, but like Obadiah went with his group and Ahab
It
went
could-
with
it
his
could be
group
that. They
by
just don't
themselves,
specify,
meaning
yeah.
they didn't go Obadiah and Ahab together.
Yeah, it could be that. yeah,
It's
for
hard
sure.
for me. I'm hard pressed to think that they went singularly on that. But anyways, having said that, we'll just assume they're going into separate. They're not going together. I think that's the general point they're trying to make there. One went north, one went south, one went east, one went west. It really doesn't specify
Yeah,
that.
there's no specifications in the
But
study Bible as well.
God's hand orchestrating the direction of Obadiah. Let's
Not at
go.
all. That's right. Verse 7. And as Obadiah was on the way, behold, Elijah met him.
Oh, well, hello,
Well,
Obadiah.
hello there. How
Nice
are
to
you?
meet you.
That was refreshing too. It's like the one person he runs into, Obadiah,
Yeah.
follower of Yahweh.
It was the other guy, but a little less cordial.
Yeah, possibly.
Here we go.
Let's find out. And Obadiah recognized him and fell on his face and said, "Is it you, my lord Elijah?" And he answered him, "It is I. Go tell your lord, behold, Elijah is here."
Third person, Elijah is here.
I'm here.
So so Elijah's on his way out. God said, "Go to Ahab." So Elijah's on his way to Ahab. In the meantime, Ahab and Obadiah are on a mission to find water, find sustenance. And Obadiah is like, "You look a whole lot like Elijah. Are you
you?
Elijah? Like it's been a few years, you know." It looks like you've raised someone from the dead recently, and I don't know what that looks like, but that's what it looks like. But also, you see the reverence that he has for Elijah and what Elijah represents. He fell on his face. It did not say he fell on his face in worship. It was a fell on his face in recognition. So that has to be made very clear. And he said, "Yeah, it's me. Let's go. Go prepare the way. Here we go."
And then Obadiah,
Yeah.
verse 9, and he said, "How have I sinned that you would tell your Lord, behold, Elijah is here?" Oh wait, I'm sorry, I went back up.
got you.
And he said, "How have I sinned that you would give your servant into the hand of Ahab to kill me?"
Right. He's like, I'm not telling him.
Wait a minute, how could you? What's going? What's the trick here?
They've been looking for you for a long time, pal. I'm not going
I
back
see
there.
your face all over town. And he literally says that too.
Yeah.
It's just
He's like,
funny.
I'm not
To
like
kill me? Are you kidding me?
Right, he's like,
Are you serious, dude?
like I want none of this smoke. He's
Come
like,
on now.
leave me out of this.
Everybody's been making oaths that we haven't seen you, and now you want me to go tell them that I've seen you?
Right.
You can make a liar out of me?
Yeah, he's like, not happening. Keep going.
As the Lord, verse 10, as the Lord your God lives, there is no nation or kingdom where my Lord has not sent to seek you. And when they would say he is not here, he would take an oath of the kingdom or nation that they had not found you. And now you say, go tell your Lord, behold, Elijah is here. And as soon as I have gone from you, the Spirit of the Lord will carry you, I know not where. And so when I have come to tell Ahab, and he cannot find you, he will kill me. Although I, your servant, have feared the Lord from my youth.
He's like,
Okay, I'm going to go and tell him that you're here. And then God's
And then
going to
you're
do
just
his
gonna-
thing where you're going to just like disappear to another, brook with running water or something. And then he's going to be like, show me. I'm not going to be able to show the proof. And he's going to cut my head off.
yeah. So here's the it's a giant game of hide and seek.
Yeah.
And this is what I think is brilliant. This is God's brilliance. Now we're going to back up a little bit. So initially he was out in the wilderness by the brook. Then he was sent to the land Zarephath, which was the homeland of Jezebel. The queen,
Yeah.
who's in. They're trying to find him.
Mm-hmm.
Where are they looking for Elijah? Everywhere else, because where would he definitely not
Where
be?
they're at, yeah.
That's exactly how great is that?
That's great.
It's like the last place you would think to look
Yep.
is in your own backyard,
Yeah.
and he's been there the whole.
And this is the first time
time.
in the story here where God tells Elijah, like, show your face now.
Yeah,
Like, you're not hiding now. First,
Get
you're
ready
hiding
to
at the
go.
brook Cherith, you're hiding with the widow. Show your
Yep.
face now.
and so
It's time.
this is Obadiah. Obadiah's like, I've been faithful for so long, and like Obadiah doesn't know at this moment that this is a God-appointed meeting.
Right.
He thinks he just happened upon Elijah, that no one's been able to find him because God's been kind of moving him away. So here's the deal. Obadiah has incredible faith in God, that God has been protecting Elijah and keeping Elijah from being found.
Yeah.
He also feels like God has provided him opportunity to see Elijah. But now there's a moment where his faith is being tested.
Mhm.
Elijah says, go tell him I'm here. And Obadiah's like, but are you? Like, I see you now.
I can just look the other way.
Like, because he knows what's going to happen. He
Yeah.
knows, like, the moment someone
good.
finds Elijah, like, they're either going to be, and like, he proves to be, like, if you get the king's hopes up, and then Elijah's nowhere to be found, like, you're going to face the wrath.
Yeah.
He knows how hostile this situation
Definitely.
is. So it's kind of like Obadiah has great faith and is super excitement, but also there's a little bit of like,
He's aware of reality.
he's realistic.
Yeah.
He's human here on this. All right, so Elijah buckles down, and in verse where are we at
13.
13, buckles down and goes for it.
Has it not been told, my Lord, what I did when Jezebel killed the prophets of the Lord? How I hid 100 men.
This is our first introduction to Jezebel. Like
Yeah.
we've been talking about it.
Yeah,
This is
she
the first
hasn't really
mention.
been really mentioned like
This
that.
is the first
Very
mention
short.
of her. Real glowing review.
Yeah.
Jezebel, first line, Jezebel killed the prophets of the Lord. That
She's
right there
starting off on
is,
the bad
that
foot.
is, well, how would you describe Jezebel? Well, the first time we hear about her, she's killing God's people. So,
Death.
yeah, that's how kind of
Evil.
not awesome she is. I think it's worth noting. The very first line of Jezebel is
talking about that.
Jezebel killed the prophets of the Lord.
Yeah.
So all right. So Obadiah, his first act, one of the things he did, he's talking about hiding the people. All right, go. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
I
that's
messed
good.
you
How
up.
I hid 100 men of the Lord's prophets by 50s in a cave
By
and
50s.
fed them by 50s. Don't
Yeah.
forget that by 50s, and fed them with bread and water. And now you say, "Go tell your Lord, behold, Elijah is here, and he will kill me." And Elijah said, "As the Lord of hosts lives, before whom I stand, I will surely show myself to him today." So Obadiah went to meet Ahab and told him, and Ahab went to meet Elijah.
And wow,
I want to see this. I want to see
See
like
his
both of
face.
them on a like WrestleMania poster. Just like the big show off.
that's so
Ahab
true.
versus Elijah in a steel cage match. Lions in every
So
corner.
you say that, and I'm envisioning Ahab, and he's walking in. I'm thinking like a UFC entrance.
Okay.
So okay, now UFC or
caravan
boxing,
behind him.
there's a huge caravan behind him. He's up front, like just doing his like strutting his stuff,
Yeah.
shoulders waving, like. And as red as that girl's face was this morning, his face, like he's just red with anger because Ahab knows that this is the guy. Like he
waiting for
is
this.
the reason. Again, Elijah's still being blamed for the drought.
Yeah.
Not Baal,
He's-
not God. It's Elijah's taking the hit for this.
Yeah.
So I see this whole crowd just like coming at it. I don't think Ahab's coming empty-handed.
No, definitely.
He's
not.
got this whole crew, and I think kind of in behind is Obadiah just like I'm coming. Like he's trying not to walk with them, but he's going in the same direction. You know,
I can't believe this is happening right now.
how it is
Just,
when you,
just
when you see It's like when you see someone at the store and like at the end, at the exit, and you greet each other, you talk with each other. Like, all right, well, I'll see you later, and you both end up leaving the same direction.
Oh wait, we parked next to each other?
You know, it's just that awkward walk.
It looks like we're following each other, huh?
That's Obadiah. He's like, I'm not really part of them, but I'm going the same place anyways.
Yeah.
They're heading that direction. So I see this big grand entrance with Ahab coming through with his people. And I don't know. I don't think the queen's there at the time. She's fuming back, in her own thing. And then Elijah is by himself.
Yeah.
Just walking up all by himself.
Lone warrior.
That's it. Just coming by himself. Perhaps, maybe for poetic justice, some ravens up in the background, like flowing. I can see like just in the skyline in the back, maybe a raven sitting on a tree. Like if you get this big picture, like this big crowd coming out.
Piece of meat hanging out.
Little bread in its claws, ready to go. I definitely can see this. I kind of like
win this.
You're
gonna eat, buddy.
I wish we had some really artistic people. That'd make for a great poster.
Yeah,
I think I'm in on that.
Oh, wow.
So that's where we're at. That's where we're going to leave it off at.
Yeah.
This the big showdown is coming. If you know the story, spoiler alert, there's a big showdown coming up.
Yeah.
Big showdown.
It's poster worthy.
It is very poster worthy. It's I have some great stories to go along with it, so you have to catch up with us on the next episode. But for now, the big showdown, the big meeting, maybe it's not the showdown yet. The meeting ramping up. This is who's the this is Don King sitting down with his boxers, working out. This is the battle. This is what's going to work out. And they're going to sit down, and there's going to be a resolution to this drought. And if you don't know, I'm excited for you.
Hey, for the first time in like 3 years.
Yeah,
They're
they're face to face again. The last time was not a great. It's pretty cool.
Wow, we've been waiting for
So
this.
here's a
I'm really
random question I'm just thinking about, because as I'm going through this, I'm like, man, how exciting would it be to hear this for the first time? Like just to experience this all for the first time, to read it for the first time. You know what I mean? Like we were kids when we heard about this for the
to
first
read it
time.
and understand it for the first time.
Right.
Because
So-
you read this the first time, you're like, who's saying what?
But to know what's going on and be able to go, how exciting to watch this build up and all that. I'm jealous of people who get to experience this for the first time. Total random question. If there's a movie in your life to watch again for the first time, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. If there's a movie I can erase the memory of, just watch it the
You
first
go
time
back
again.
and watch it for the first time over.
Ooh.
What movie? It doesn't have to be your favorite, anything like that. Just something to think about. A movie you would watch for the first time again.
Probably we're gonna go with Mr. Deeds.
Okay.
Such a good movie. Like,
That is a funny movie. That is a good
literally all the way to the very last scene. It's
It
hilarious.
is a funny
Do you
movie.
remember that last scene?
I'm trying to remember the last scene on
It's the
top of
guy with crazy eyes.
Oh, yeah.
And he's in the Ferrari.
And he just crashes
And he's
it.
like, he just right into the
Just crashes right
It's
into
like,
it.
why? Did he say he was in jail? He's like, I bet the mailman. Well, why'd you do? He was like waving this kind of spell on me. It was spooky. He was like, or maybe he was just trying to tell me hi. I don't know. It's just cold. I'm sorry, it's cold.
There's like 3 people laughing at the story.
Yeah.
There's a dozen people laughing
Some
at
people
him, at
maybe
Justin.
knows. Yeah.
So there's 3 movies really watch again for the first time that come to mind right away. Jurassic Park, the original Jurassic Park, watch again for the first time. That was phenomenal.
Yeah.
That when the first scene of the dinosaurs, like, oh, like this is real. This looks.
I was a chicken as a
This
kid. I
looks
didn't watch it.
real. Have you seen it yet?
I've not like any new ones, not any like I've.
You
as
haven't
a
seen
kid,
the
I never-
original Jurassic Park?
I've seen it, but I've never not like that. Like I've seen it as a kid, probably haven't seen it since.
Okay, so there's a chance to kind of see it
was
for
a
the first
chicken.
time. The movie Sixth Sense. Do you remember that movie?
Is that I see
That's the I See Dead People.
chicken scared me as a kid.
Spoiler alert: the main guy in the movie's dead the whole time,
Yeah.
and the kid sees him
He
as a
really
dead
does see
person.
dead
So you rewatch that movie. When you watch it again, you see all the little things like, oh, the only person interacting with this guy is the kid.
Dude, bedtime after watching that. Bad. Dude, I thought
It wasn't a creepy movie,
but I was a chicken, and I swore I was gonna.
You
see dead
completely
people.
made me forget that. The third movie I would watch again for the first time. Or I wish I could watch again for the first time. Nacho Libre.
Okay, yeah,
Love
great movie. Great
that movie.
Yeah.
Great movie. But the first time through, you're like, this is This is so good.
Yeah.
And now I can I quote lines as we're going through it. I need to watch it again coming up soon.
My life is good.
My favorite line from the movie, him his friend, I'm worried that you are not baptized. He comes up behind him and slams his head in the water trying to baptize him. It's not a lot of theological accuracy going on in that
classic,
one.
nonetheless.
But it is such a good one. And I love the little chunky kid wearing a mask and he wants to be just like him when he grows up. Such a good film. And maybe I should watch it again now as a pastor to go through that.
Yeah.
I'll let you know.
Do a sermon series.
Nacho Libre.
There's gotta be something in
I
it.
am not going to be one of those at the movies pastors. No, I'm sorry. No.
Name it. Nacho Normal Sermon.
Not. I'll give you that, Robert.
Yeah, I actually don't mind that one at all.
Nacho
It's
normal
actually
sermon.
pretty good. Can you imagine that instead of serving bagels, we're serving nachos out front? Dude, no, stop. I can't. Listen, I don't take a bagel on Sunday mornings. Have you seen those kids? You have one of those kids. Have you seen the way those kids treat those bagels? They're touching each one. Nope, too hard, too soft, too hard, too soft. They're going through every single one of those has been blessed by a young child.
Mine only cares about
The
the
rainbow
color.
one. I know. These kids, I don't know
Dude,
what.
nachos.
Where-
Nachos on a Sunday, dude? Come on.
But brother,
Some people wish that they could go back to youth group just so they can have something
can you
like
imagine being up there preaching? Like
Yeah,
everyone
crunch.
turned up. Like,
Hey, listen. Consider it with hot honey.
I don't know, nachos and hot honey. I haven't gone Mexican and hot honey. Pizza.
We did have it in youth group with
We did
walking
taco,
tacos.
yeah.
and
Did you
they
have
had
the hot honey on
It
top
was
of
pretty
that?
Good. It was good.
Yep.
With Doritos, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm open to it. I'm open to trying it. I'm not. I don't know if I feel.
Maybe not Sunday.
You know what?
service.
Maybe it's because maybe not their Sunday.
up there
Yeah, you're the one
flatulating.
that typically goes through and does the final touch-ups and cleanups in our church sanctuary.
Yeah.
Would you really want to clean up on Nacho Day? Not in the slightest.
And
Not the normal
some of the
cleanup.
other things
Can
I
you
gotta
imagine
clean
all
up on
those-
that floor.
Would you like to clean up the
Speaking of that,
bathrooms
just
after,
recently,
after
it
Nacho
was
Day?
Communion Sunday, and we did it differently this year.
Yep.
You could definitely tell people held onto that cracker a longer
A little
time.
too tight.
Oh yeah, it's all over the floor.
It doesn't take much for those things to
It's like,
flake
wait a
out.
minute, but did they even eat the cracker? Because it's all on the floor.
Like, this piece is a little big. I'll just crumble it down. But we also had kids,
We
so
also
that
did
was
have
so
kids.
that, I
Oh,
think
yeah, that's a
that
good
was
point.
probably the big element. We kept the children in during that moment.
Yeah.
And if there's anything I can tell the parents right now, teach your kids about communion at home. You can do communion at home.
Totally.
Like, I think we too often think, oh, you have to do this in a church building, but no, you can do it at home.
If
All
there's
right.
one thing that COVID showed us, it's that we can do communion.
You
So-
can do a lot of things at home.
The funniest thing, well, it's not really funny, but
Oh, save it.
Is it as funny as your nacho normal
during,
service?
during communion, since it was earlier in the service,
Yeah.
a couple come in after the bread was passed.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, I did.
And I'm like, oh.
They only got
They only got the cup.
They only got blood, no
They only got
body.
blood.
And I was like, that's a new one.
You know,
I mean, I haven't.
Shame on them for walking in 3 songs deep into the service.
Yeah, it's the worship.
They always-
It's the bread.
Or just go up to the front
Sir.
awkwardly and be like, sorry, I didn't get bread, Sam.
Raise your hand. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse
I didn't
me.
get any bread.
No crackers over here.
This is totally not an Obadiah type of moment. Come on, give me the bread. Obadiah would have been had our bread. here.
I'm one of those. It's this 2 sets of 50. The 100 I split into groups of 50. Such a weird notation. Such an unusual notation. That is funny. Look, show up to church. Come on, yo.
Yeah. Come on, get there
Who
early.
shows up to
Try
a
to
movie
get there
20
early.
minutes late? No one.
Nobody.
No
yeah.
one, because you don't want to miss out on the beginning.
Maybe-
Don't miss out on the singing.
Definitely.
Get there early. Hug your drummer.
Hug
make,
your drummer.
Make him feel like he's worth something
Before they
before he gets
start
in
the
there.
set specifically.
Oh my! Yeah, maybe not. Definitely not,
in the
during.
middle of the set.
And you don't want to wait till after you hug him because he might have screwed up. So you don't want.
Yeah, no, I'd be sweating too. It was hot up there. Man.
The stage is a hot beast up there. All right, Mayor Rob, we're gonna just shut this thing down. We've reached into so many different things. I do want to wrap up with just a couple questions. I know we went sideways on some of these things, but I have a couple would you rather questions I handed to you earlier to be able to share. It's a little trifold paper, just some things I pulled up from the interweb. So let's just do a couple of them, kind of wrap up, kind of soften things up a little bit as we go about the rest of our day.
All
And
right.
just
Soften
pick one
it
of
up
the
for us,
first
Rob.
2 of the first 4 or 5 of them. We'll go that route. So And he hasn't read these before. I've read them, but it's been a minute, and you haven't heard any of these.
No, I'm in the dark.
All right, man, Rob, would you rather?
All right, here we go. Would you rather be in jail for 5 years or be in a coma for a decade?
Okay, so be in jail for 5 years or be in a coma for we'll call this a medium security kind of prison. So it's not like white collar stuff. So we're just kind of add that into the
Like
equation.
it's worse than
Fixing on getting.
Well, it's not. Yeah, yeah. Like you
Yeah,
gotta
watch your back.
You gotta pick a gang.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that kind of jail.
That
Now
changes
I do
it.
prison ministry on the regular. Used to do a lot more regular before COVID came and really messed it up. What I can tell you is one of the running jokes we would have about prison ministry is that if I could spend 90 days in prison, I'd be fit, I'd be healthy, and I'd be in shape. Because they regulate your meals, you have access to weight room and gym equipment, and you're just reading and working out all day long. That's pretty much your life.
Regimented.
90 days. We joke about it, and no one wants that.
Yeah.
It's just a joke. But when push comes to shove, would you really want to spend 5 years? And so we're talking about 5 years seeing your kids,
Yeah.
like behind
That's
bars,
where I'm thinking.
and living a life. Let's just say you're going to be safe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's 5 years in jail, separated from your family, only on visitation days.
Versus 10
10
years
years
not
of
seeing a
nothing.
single thing.
Right. You
You
wake
don't
up
get
and
to
your
see,
daughters.
your family can see you, but they see you just like half dead,
They
pretty
have
much.
pictures of you in a coma, just wheeling you down the aisle. Like I wanted my dad to walk me down the aisle, so
Yeah,
they're just
right.
wheeling you down on that thing.
Selfie with dad.
Selfie with dad.
We're gonna take him outside to get
He's
some
just
sun
sleeping.
today.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Hair's all growing out. You got a full-on beard and stuff like that.
Pooping
So,
myself.
What's it gonna be? Well, I'm sure they got tubes hooked up to
Yeah,
suck all that out.
it's true.
Jail
I'm
or coma?
taking jail.
I think I'm going jail
Put
too.
me in the can.
Man, Rob, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking jail.
Just so like you can experience life.
This is a different perspective from Rob too, because he doesn't have kids.
No kids whatsoever. Yeah.
So like you don't have that.
That's a good
that
good
thing.
point. Like for me, it's
To
all about
factor in.
family and
Yeah,
my wife.
that's-
Like I would rather see them.
If I don't have that, then sure, I'll take a 10-year nap.
Right.
thing is
Actually, think about it. There might be some days dealing with your daughters. You're like, you know what? It might not be bad to be
Exactly.
go work
We
10
should just,
years.
but, okay, so you bring up a good point, the financial
The thing
aspect.
is like the waking up.
You got good health insurance? Okay, but if not,
Right.
Waking up that like 10 years later and like I don't know, like I feel like you have to catch up so much.
Think about-
Yeah, you ever seen the movie Kicking It Old School?
No.
it's about this guy in the movie he starts off as a kid.
Do we have to put an asterisk on this? Are we promoting this movie for people to watch?
I don't really know. I'd have to watch it back again.
Okay,
It's been a while. It's nothing. It's nothing like crazy.
Making light of it does not endorse this movie.
But long story short, he's a breakdancer. He's in this contest. He jumps off trying to impress a girl, hits his head, is in a coma for like 10, 15 years. Wakes up. Then it's not the 80s anymore. It's the early 2000s. And he's like, a vegetable at first. And he's still stuck in the 80s. It's great. That's I think of that
Bro.
when you say that.
If you missed, let's say from 1995 to 2005, you missed those 10 years. Imagine the technological advances just in like cell phones between that time frame. You would not be able to catch up.
No.
The technology would be so.
You would at that point be like, oh snap, this is the future.
Yeah.
Like we who lived through it, it's like, it's not as impressive as we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it's the future. It's 10 years in the future.
Yeah.
But that's
a great
what I'm
observation.
saying.
It is. It's a brilliant observation.
It's the idea of the future.
I know.
It's like, you know how big phones were in '95.
They were. I had the flip phone where the flip was plastic. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I don't
it
know
was
why I
just
didn't
the
buy
cover.
it. It was just a cover.
It's
Just a
like,
cover.
all it did was cover.
And you flip. You still held it up. You still held it up to your. All right, Mayor Rob. Let's do one more. Pick one more out of that.
All right.
One more. Would you rather?
Would you rather be forced to sing along or dance to every single song you hear?
Okay. So now when you listen to songs, you have two choices. You have to sing to it or you have to dance to it. That would dramatically change.
tough too, 'cause
if
you
you had
can
to
go-
dance to it, that would
Can I go
dramatically change
minimal,
Sunday morning.
like on it all, or do I have to go all in?
Oh, this is an all in. You're
All
always
singing.
singing or always
I
dancing.
always sing. I can't dance for nothing.
Yeah.
I don't have rhythm. I'm
trying to think through-
body. In my
but-
mind, I do.
So you're in Target and they got music playing over, so you have to sing it.
Believe in life after love?
That's exactly
Yeah, I'm
it.
going in. Come on, let's go, Cher.
Because that's what we're looking at. Like, you can dance down the aisles, you know what I mean? But when you're singing, everyone in that place is gonna know it.
Okay, that's a good point.
So you got it.
I'm sticking with my answer.
You're still going in that.
I just sang I'm sticking.
I'm trying to think. I'll probably.
My kids
Yeah.
would hate it, but all right.
Or they'll be
my
messing
job
with you.
to
They'll be
embarrass
messing
them.
with you something
You
fierce.
just start putting songs on. It's so quiet. Put a song on. Dad's got to sing it.
Yeah, it's just you just out of nowhere.
Baby shark.
So the question: if they start playing songs in your sleep, are you starting to just sing it?
I would like to think hopefully the unconscious is like a role. It's like if you're unconscious,
If you're not aware,
forced
you're
to
not
wake
aware.
up, yeah.
I think I don't mind singing. I like singing, but there's certain moments.
He's got that mojo.
We just did a funeral here and we're playing songs in the background. Can you imagine being at a funeral and you have to out loud sing out loud sing all the songs? Amazing Grace, just blurting it out there while everyone's trying to be all quiet.
Who brought this guy? Who invited him? We're gonna ask
Who is he doing? 'Cause
Turn it off.
if you're just sitting in the seat like dancing and stuff like that, you can get away with that. You can tuck that in the corner. But if you're in the middle of the funeral blasting out,
I'm gonna be that guy.
like someone's up there singing a solo,
You got
you're out there singing along with them.
it's just it's
outta
almost
here.
as effective as being able to turn someone else's fart into barbecue
Yeah,
smell.
right, that's exactly it. It's. I think I'm dancing. Just think someone's doing special music up there, and you just start singing right along
we're
with
doing
them.
it together. Little did you know,
It's
this
like
is
those
a
people
duet.
that bring their own tambourines into the worship service. I love those memes of the drummer, the unhugged drummer, looking at them, thinking, I'm going to squeeze them.
You're so on beat.
Man, Rob, you going to
I'm
sing or you
like-
going to dance?
I'm torn between the two, man. This is tough. I mean, I don't. That's the thing. Like any song, you have to sing along.
Yep. Everything you hear, you have to sing along to
Yes.
it. Solos right there, that just took me out. Going to your kid's concert, you'd have to sing along to all those.
You gotta do it with
one
them.
thing. It's those solo parts when it gets going. I think
That's a
that
good point.
Every
I'm
song
dancing.
Every single song. How would you dance to Amazing Grace?
You just dance. He's like,
Yeah, I guess there's nothing. Yeah.
we'll pull out our mime outfit. Get that going.
I might do the dance.
Yeah, I'm doing the dance because all I can think is you're going to kids recital.
Do the dance.
This little kids are working up his nerve all day long to sing
Yeah.
his little
And then
solo
his
part,
dad
and
just
you're belting
belts
it
it
right over.
Dad, shut up, Dad. Stop it.
That's
That's
not
not
my
right now,
dad.
Dad. That's not my dad. I don't know him.
Sir, you're gonna have to leave. Anytime you go to a play, a musical, or something like that, they're big
Gonna
show
walk
numbers.
myself out.
Yeah, on your way out the door, just keep on going. I think that's how it's gonna be. All right, that's enough for this episode.
Yeah.
Justin Justino, episode number 29, 29. What did you learn?
I learned that you would actually I've never seen you dance in my life.
I didn't say it'd be good, but
That's true.
if I had to choose,
But I would actually like to see you dance.
mostly
one day,
for the
so
awkward
I've
situations.
learned that you would actually prefer to dance. For some reason, I thought it'd be opposite. But I
Right.
guess the circumstances, I understand why you chose. But
Yeah.
still surprising.
I attend a lot of kids events. I would not want to be
Yeah,
belting
I'm
it
not
out there.
saying.
I'd rather be Dan. At least, look how excited and how happy he is. Mayor Rob, what'd you learn today?
I learned that Justin's a needy guy. You know. And,
Needy.
if he needs a hug, that'll make him better. Hey, listen.
Hey.
And that segues right into what I learned. I learned that today, October 10th, is National Hug a Drummer Day. I'm sorry you all missed out on it during the recording of this. And I think the greatest thing I learned is that drummers themselves put this day together because that is how needy the drummers are.
Are needy.
I would vote to change it into National High Five a Drummer Day.
I wouldn't oppose that.
But ladies and gentlemen, the next time you see your local drummer, give them a hug
them
because
a hug.
apparently they need it. This is Making Light of It. That has been your public service announcement. I'm Sam.
I'm Justin.
God bless.